Fade in. It's a cold day ending in downtown Montreal. The sidewalks are crowded with office workers and students, the employed and the employment wishing. There are others too on the street. They linger more than walk, and so, logically, they should be extra visible. Yet, in the eyes of the stressed out, society's bustling winners, this last group, impoverished and too degraded to expect a salary, discarded and loosened and loose change desiring, are, in the eyes of the healthy, the ranked successful, people who do not exist at all. But my brother sees them. He sees them with pity and multi-tiered fear. He, with his bad skin, bulging belly, dirty coat, smelly hat, is, in many ways, one of them. He wants what they're panhandling for. He's carrying it in a glass-heavy bag, in a plastic bag in his hand. But even though his attention is focused on them, the normal people disgust him. When he sees the homeless people's wrecked faces, francophone pale, Inuit tan, runaway red, his heart goes out to them. But despite this unfaked, comradely empathy, his anxious distance is primal, instinctive. His food supply, correction, liquid bread, shall not be shared, shall not be depleted, and so he carries the weighty plastic bag filled with bang-clinking, full liters of Colt 45 and, for good measure, one bottle of blue, and proceeds down Park Avenue, as determined to ignore the street people as the office types and pain virginal McGillers. The sidewalk is so frozen, it's slushy, then freeze-dried curlicues of kick-colored ice are striated into clumsiness-causing shapes. It's hard for pedestrians to keep their footing. "Got any change?" a person's voice says. My brother turns to it. A native guy, Indian or Inuit, he can't figure out which. My brother likes the man's voice. "Got some change there, buddy? I need something to eat." My brother looks at the homeless guy. His face is oval, his skin pocked. He has good features that have been kicked around. The homeless guy looks at my brother. He has pale skin with cheeks both white, with too much inside and rawly reddened by cold. But the reddening continues. It climbs up the bridge of his nose like an ant up a tree and is on either nostril like red lights on a toy car. And he has a big burly beard. The beard so thick it looks animal, rough and wild and flecked with additional substances. My brother looks at the homeless guy and knows he's a drunk. Inside his mind guts, shame that the homeless guy, whose eyes seem fixed on the plastic bag in his hand, with its 4-bottle content, knows him too. Shame at the certainty the guy sees right through him. This moment of humiliation suddenly bursts, a grenade of embarrassment. "Sorry," my brother mutters. He walks on. The streets, which are bare but covered with snow, continue. the Earth, which has been continuing its spin, has moved Montreal further away from sunlight. And now the cloudy winter sky is at its deepest evening. The temperature drops another degree. The ice on the sidewalk hardens its unevenness. My brother hears a plaintively vulnerable cry, the mewing of animal baby, and spots a little cat. It's a tiny creature, perhaps an adult whose size has been limited by limited food. The cat's face, direct, humorless, ignorant of charm, looks right at my brother, and its mouth opening, teeth looking like model dinosaur fangs. It meows again, meows right into my brother's heart. My brother stoops to pet the dear creature, stoops with his blurry, badly coordinated balance. Clunk, heavy clink. The cat flees, and my brother, straightening, harumphing at this feline snub, doesn't notice his grip has loosened. Crash! The bag of bottles is snatched by the Earth's gravity and breaks cleanly and multiply on the hard streets. Fuck it, god damn it, fuck! Passers-by glance at my yelling bro and close their nostrils against the broken smell of beer. Fuck! My brother's rage is boundless and useless. Cold, cold, cold. He staggers another block and turns his head to the omniscient sky. It, too, has its way of blinking. Little flecks of snow, tiny with cold tentativeness, are falling from the sky. These little flakes, like spittle, fall on my brother's face, and a memory of childhood fills him with such absoluteness. It's recalled Ottawa, 1969. Walking with my mom and dad and me to a neighborhood rink. Outside sensations. The feeling in old, gone memory of living on a quieter, nobler planet. The feeling of great, pervasive quiet. The feeling, too, that the past equals the present and has the power to enter it. Inside sensations, our rickety home, our bright kitchen, skating for hours outside, returning to heat. My brother suddenly remembers the homeless guy and feels a big regret. He feels like he just let down a friend. He backtracks, his movements a little more agile than they've been recently. Like any addict, being denied his addiction cheers him up. But the homeless guy's spot is empty now. The past is shoveled aside by the present. Friendship potential is, these are the odds, usually bombed into oblivion by reality. My brother keeps walking, his face and hands turning more and more raw, and he leaves the present once again, and he walks down side streets that are concrete portals to childhood and past.